Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast, a virtual firehouse kitchen table with Matt, Adam, Brian, Doug, and Freddie, where they discuss everything that matters in today's fire service. Now let's get to the show.
Speaking of getting it, I don't get this
Oh, dang, Brian. This is the wrong podcast.
I don't get the part. I was listening to last week's podcast, and what I don't get is this whole parlay thing. Okay? So y'all were starting to tell me right before we hit the record button, it's probable bets that you then put together that now make it harder? What's all that about?
Not necessarily probable. You can pick favorites also, but the more probables you put in it, the less the odds are. So if you put 3, so minus means they're favored. Plus means they're the underdog. So if you put 3 minus 125 bets together, that might get you plus 110, plus 125, something like that, which is plus money. So minus 125 pays you like 75 cents on a dollar, right? Whereas plus 125 pays you $1.25 for a dollar. So if you put, the idea is to put probable winners together in a group of 3, 4, however many. Like I only did 2 yesterday. I hit. Let me tell you. Let me go back and look. I hit.
In Vegas, you can do like a 15-game parlay,
yeah.
And if you hit it, you win like $500,000.
Yeah,
because you have to hit every single one. But do you understand favorites and underdogs?
I think so, yes.
So if you bet on a favorite, someone that's favored to win, you're not going to get plus money. So that means you usually have to bet about 120, 130, depending on how much of a favorite they are. If it's the best football team versus the worst.
Where do you get this number from of like the 130, this 125?
That is all Vegas.
So
Vegas has professionals.
I'll tell you about the golf right now. Tommy Fleetwood is leading the PGA tournament right now. He's minus 165 to win. So $10 bet wins you $6.06.
So you walk away with $16.
Correct.
You're $10 plus 6. Okay.
Correct. You win $6.
All right.
But like yesterday, for instance, I put Western Kentucky minus 16.5. That's the one. Iowa State. Iowa State plus 1.5, meaning Iowa State had to win or lose by less than 2. That was plus 118, so that's already plus money. Then I had Kansas minus 13.5 for plus 117. Combined, those two made it plus 251. Yeah. So $250 for $1. So I put $10 on that $147.
He just added 2 different numbers, though. He added the odds, and he also gave you the spread.
Yes.
So he just really screwed you up.
You know what? That's too hard.
Mine's cross-eyed.
So let me give you this. Here, I did a single on Kansas State also.
Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 11.
I did Kansas. I did Kansas minus 13.5, meaning Kansas has to win by 14 or more. Right? That's what minus 13.5 means. They're favored to win by 13.5. So I put $5 on Kansas minus 13.5. The odds were minus 115. So I made $4.35 on a $5 bet. Does that make sense?
Big wager.
You know what it means? It means huge. You keep betting huge. Absolutely huge.
Well,
it means you keep.
I need Tommy Fleetwood to hold on, and I'm going to win like $28 on him for $5. So I'm good.
How about we welcome everybody in?
I was going to say, welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast. Welcome, Freddie. Haven't seen him in a hot minute. Glad he's here. That's okay. But the math is hard. But you know what's easy? Listening to the Cool Fireman Podcast and hitting the subscribe button. That is easy. Gotcha. And special shout out to everybody who hit the subscribe button on Spotify. We're over 800 now. Can you hit the button? Hit the button, the clap button, Matt.
That's you. You're
what's the button?
The man.
What's the button?
Oh, Jesus.
You got to find it on the... Oh, dude. It's not as easy to be the producer, is it?
No. You know what? Forget about it. Well, I'll just clap.
Fucking
How about this? Bow, 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 bow.
Becky.
The dog starts barking.
Yeah, I got 3 boys here. One of them's a great name. She's huge.
Anyways, thank you to everybody who has given us a follow. Man, how exciting is that to be over 800 on Spotify alone? Plus, I mean, who knows how many we've got on Amazon. We got YouTube. We got all those other platforms. So yeah, please continue to help us out on all those different platforms. So yeah, hopefully Unki will come on board. We're recording on a Sunday. We have not done a Sunday show in a long time. So special thanks to everybody for jumping in on this. We wanted to get everybody together and do SAFRE before it got too far away. So hopefully Adam will be able to jump in as well. With that being said, special shout out to Unki for being one of our sponsors. The Salty Fireman, I think, is still on sale. And man, I tell you what I saw today. My wife was inside a Target picking up some things for back to school. And Doug, that was the shocker face. I totally saw that. I'm shocked. Surprise, right? But I was checking on some things. And while I was there, I saw where Brightleaf Hot Dogs did an unboxing of Unki's stuff.
Hey,
they've been doing some stuff together. So if you're into Brightleaf Hot Dogs and you can get that around the whole country shipped to you, that's some of the stuff that Nick's had. He's doing some cool stuff with them. So go check them out, unkiseasoning.com. And speaking of that, FD Collectors Club's cool video. We dropped our August coin reveal and got my tracking for the burn box.
Yeah, I got mine yesterday.
I was going to say, you probably got yours.
I got the tracking. I didn't get the box yet.
Okay. I was going to say, I got my tracking. So in a day or two. No, that was something else. Matt was listening.
You're in a very singy mood today.
Or two. Down in Rio.
I am. I'm in Rio in a week or two. We should be able to get our box and do an unboxing video. So super stoked about all that kind of stuff. On a serious note, 52. That's not the number of weeks in a year. It is, but
it is.
It is. You like
sure
that?
Is.
It sure is. 52, as of today, is the number of line of duty deaths that we've had in firefighters across the country. So Freddie did a little bit of research for us. Thank you for giving us that number. But we want to do a moment of silence. Right before we came on, I asked the group if we knew of any personally, and we did not, thank goodness, or didn't have any anniversaries of those personally. But we did decide to do a research, and it's kind of just sad that we're at that point of 52 already this year. But nonetheless, that's where we're at. So take a moment, let's honor them, and let's commit ourselves to doing everything we can to go home safe next shift. Let's honor them. Amen. Well said. Well said. Matt's going to do his heart. There it is. So we can't figure out how he does his double thumbs up and gets the fireworks. 3, 2, 1. No, got nothing. Got nothing.
Hey, I mentioned
now that we hit record, see?
I mentioned Pinehurst last week, and I'm wearing my Pinehurst hat today.
How about that? How about that? So let's talk SAFRE.
Shall we?
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you some country ass shit first. I was riding down the road the other day, and I come around a curve, and I had to break the old Chevy down. And there was like 9 damn baby turkeys in the road, and 2 of them were neck fighting, because that's what turkeys do to establish dominance. Like giraffes, they like wrap their necks around each other and fight, and then they jump back and they spur each other. Y'all don't know nothing about that, but it was kind of cool.
I do. Matt don't. That's why he's laughing.
I've never seen baby turkeys do it. It was pretty cool. And there was one hen, and she had like 8 or 9 damn babies with her. It's crazy.
Matt's used to homeless doing that in the streets of Laguna Beach.
We're going to clean it up. We're going to clean up the streets. It's trash. It's everywhere. There's needles. Sleepy Joe could never. Gavin, he's terrible.
Oh, my God.
Perhaps he needs me. I don't know.
The next time I go on a bum that's injured, I'm going to ask him if they were neck fighting. Did you spur him?
Sir, why is your neck bruised? What happened?
My goodness. Speaking of not seeing that, we did not see that in Raleigh at all. It was a great time. We had a good time. We did almost have one homeless guy encounter when we came out of the pit after having dinner, which Matt we had some good barbecue that night as a group. That was a good dinner.
Not so great service.
Not so great service. No, not so great service, but definitely some good food. What was your favorite that night, Doug?
That night?
Yeah, that night.
I'm trying to remember what I ate.
I had the meatloaf.
No,
Remember, I was the old guy who had the meatloaf.
I get the meatloaf.
I'm gonna have the meatloaf.
It was smoked meatloaf. I love meatloaf.
Freddie, you sound like you're on Mars.
Freddie's vocals went crazy. I don't
think that food was very good.
It was mediocre barbecue.
It was the next night that the food was
next night
bombalicious.
The next night or the next day? I thought the next day we went to Flavor Hills.
We went to dinner after our class, after our presentation that night, Friday night.
Yeah,
what was it called?
Right.
Flavor Hills?
Flavor Hills. Yes.
Oh.
It was a nighttime. I thought it was daytime.
That hot honey chicken sandwich. Damn. That was so good. And you freaking I thought Doug was gonna stick something in his grits or his greens.
Bro, them greens was the best I've had in my life. I had catfish and grits. And it had the grits in the ring in the bowl and some collard greens in the middle and the piece of catfish on top. And I was like, ma'am, excuse me, I need a side order. I need another side order of these greens and I need them out here right now. She said, my auntie made them this morning. I said, yes, baby, send me another one.
How many times did you guys say, just excuse him, he's from California?
Yeah, at least 9.
It was a soul food restaurant. Matt was like, what is happening right now? I was like,
she said, my auntie made them this morning. I'm like, oh, do you guys own this restaurant? And she like looks at you guys and she's like, is he serious?
Yeah, is he from here?
No.
They were amazing.
No, it's not. But it was good. And the sad part about it was I would have flipped it. I would have expected the Pit to have better service and better food than Flavor Hills. But honestly, it was. But again, I wasn't disappointed in the Pit. But if I was ranking them, Flavor Hills exceeded
by far
the Pit.
Go see Kaya at Flavor Hills in Raleigh.
Yes, and tell her the cool Fireman podcast sent you.
Yeah,
she'll take care of you, dude.
Sure will.
That was so fun. What a great night.
It was. It was worth getting home late. I didn't go to bed till 11 and then turned around and got up at 3:30 the next morning. I was hurting on Saturday. I'll just say that. But it was a blast. Speaking of other fun things, there may have been a video of you two that was sent to us dancing to the Creed.
Damn right it was.
We may or may not have had a little bit of bourbon the first night.
Oh, yeah.
We were on one on Wednesday night. I flew in. Doug picked me up and drove me right to that hotel, and we started having some libations. And boy, did we have fun! That was a good night.
Catching up, having a good time. I had to go see Big Ronnie. Had to go see
two guys being dudes in their boxers singing Creed at 1 a.m. in a hotel room was amazing.
For clarity, I was in my room asleep. I have no idea what they were doing.
I didn't tell you this, Brian, but I think it was Friday night that you guys had gone home, right? Doug, you and Brian went home. And so I was in my bed and I was like, I miss Doug. So I texted him. I said, I miss my roommate. I said, I hope you got home safe. And he said, I think it was so late that you got back to me in the morning. He said, "Aw, Pookie," or something, or whatever it was. That was good.
That was good.
Dude, I know we've talked about conferences before. We talked about FDIC. You guys were there helping Tom, the Burn Box, and you had such a great time. But all of us just being together, minus Fred, obviously. Fred, you're going to be there next time. You better make it happen.
He goes, don't blink on it.
So we're definitely at least planning to be at FDIC, and we're also planning to be at SAFRE, which is where we just were in August. South Atlantic Fire Rescue Expo. It's at the Raleigh Convention Center. There were 94 pieces of apparatus on the show floor. It was unreal. If I can try to drum up a picture of, because I took a picture of the show floor, I'll try to put it on here. No promises. But it was pretty cool. And I'm not like a fire nerd or anything. And I don't know if it was just the whole experience of just all of us being there and Freddie, the face, but just walking around and seeing all the small fire owned, the businesses doing challenge coins and radio straps and whatever else, right? I mean, there was just everything under the sun. It's a really cool experience. And before I left, my department supported me a little bit. We were lucky enough to get a spot. We'll talk about this later and doing a presentation. So our conference was paid for and our night and our flight, which was super, super awesome. And Brian, you're going to talk about that later. Yeah, but my department did kick in a couple bucks for me to stay the next couple of nights. And my chief said, "Hey, just do me this favor. Just when you come back, talk to the guys, the young guys, the old guys, everybody about your experience. We really want to encourage you guys to go to more conferences, and we want to try to support you guys in that. Now, obviously, we don't have enough money to send everybody, but keep the guys engaged, keep the guys high energy about wanting to be progressive with what we're doing in the fire service, and always learning new stuff, and then the networking too. Meeting people, and it was awesome. And we'll throw some shout outs here in a little bit. But that was kind of
that was a great segue into my first question.
God damn you in that word.
You're welcome.
Do you guys
need to make a gesture.
You guys know the boys from Oklahoma?
I do not. But
Can we get you an East Coast Kelly's branded segue?
We can. That would be sweet.
Like
get a little logo on the front.
You can ride around your department and maybe do inspections on it.
Like a little mall cop? Yes. Would love it.
All blurt, yeah.
So, Matt, let me go back and ask you that question. Did it, and I know the answer to this, but how did it exceed your expectations? Because we kind of already had this conversation Friday at dinner. What were you expecting? And then how did it exceed it?
I'm not going to lie. I mean, I've been to a conference before. I knew kind of what a conference is. Fire, whatever, Comic-Con, the play, whatever. All those conferences are all. I'm just kidding. It's a conference,
it was the Playboy part.
And so I wouldn't say that I was like blown away. I mean, I kind of knew what to expect. But 94 piece of apparatus, like looking at all the new latest and greatest, and we talk about it, why we started this podcast all the time. And it's to kind of bridge the gap between East Coast, West Coast, and see what you guys do as opposed to what we do over here. So that was also kind of cool to meet and network with firemen that work, on your guys' side of the country. So, but to answer your question, I just thought that it was run really well. The classrooms, beautiful. The IT stuff, Brian, worked perfect. We didn't have to worry about all that stuff.
Yeah, the convention center itself was top notch.
All the decorations and from the statue having like fake turnouts on it outside, kind of welcoming the firemen.
Sir Walter Raleigh is who that was.
Perfect. Sir Walter Raleigh. Yeah, he was there to greet us. I just thought that the people that organized it did a great job. And it was clean, and there was just plenty of everything. There was not any time where we're like, God, I wish, why is there so much trash? Or what, just the little things even. I just thought it went really well.
Doug, how about you?
Just one little coffee shop was all.
Yeah.
That got plenty of business.
That got plenty of business. And then the concession once the actual floor opens. And I think that's what it is, right? Normally, you would have the exhibit hall open, and then the true goal is to get you to buy from the convention center coffee and snacks and things like that. And they're not going to do that as part of registration because they keep the registration costs down for the firefighters. That's what they do. And historically, that's their way. I mean, the registration cost, I think, is $150. So look at the venue and say $150. And if you remember what Ronnie said, he's like, that conference and that expo is not about making money. In fact, it pretty much breaks even. It may make a little more than that, but the whole point of it is that they truly want it to be about the experience. So they put a lot into, making sure there's extra people there to keep it clean, making sure that it looks awesome and it draws people back. I will say, in talking with Ronnie, and just so everybody knows, Ronnie Hayes is on the board. He's my boss.
Big Ron.
Big Ronnie. And he said that they actually had more people there than any year before. I think he said there was over 1,000 people there more this year than last year.
That's a big jump in 1 year.
Yeah, so it was over, I think he said last year was over 5,000. This year it was over 6,000.
I think it's because they knew the Cool Fireman podcast was coming.
Heck yeah. Yeah, right.
So, going back to the whole conversation about the venue and the way that it looks, it's been there for a long time. There was a year that we were in Charlotte with FRI, and it lost its identity. And that's not a jab at FRI, but when you're there with FRI, it's easy to lose your identity, right? And I think the state would say that they were glad that they did it together. because that was kind of that one-off. But again, it's just boom, you just get lost when you're like, hey, we're the North Carolina State Firefighters Association. It's like, which hallway are you on? And this is in Charlotte, where the convention center is so much larger. 100% from last week, Matt, you were the only guy with jeans and flip-flops on. You could very easily identify the West Coast guy.
He was freezing, I bet.
I got some weird looks. I don't know. Maybe that was because I didn't have a mustache either at the time, which everybody else had a mustache, and they're like, who the hell is this guy?
Ryan, you had a mustache?
No, I did not.
No, but he's a chief, so like people already sniff him out to be a chief, so he doesn't have to have one.
People were sniffing you?
I smell
What's going on at these conferences?
I am a big guy, and I cook a lot, and so bacon is my preferred scent. So there's that.
Eau de porc.
Eau de porc.
Yeah, so Doug, how about you? That was your first time there. Do you think it kind of met or exceeded,
First time it met for me. I understand it's not FDIC. FDIC is international. It's massive. But I was highly, like just to echo what Matt said, highly impressed with the venue and the hospitality that was provided, not just from the conference, but from the neighboring businesses. And, of course, everybody's going out to eat and things like that. But it was really, really cool to see the city, the local, I shouldn't say local city, but the small area around the convention center just really embrace the amount of people that flooded in to see it. And I had no idea there was that many apparatus on the floor. Like, it didn't seem like that many, but that floor was jam packed with apparatus. Several of them that were ready for immediate delivery if your department's looking for something and doesn't want to get too picky. But yeah, highly impressed with I tell you what I love most about the exhibit floor, whatever you call it. Unlike FDIC, where you have Firefighters Row and then there's various things on the exhibit floor, the vendors at SAFRE are all along the outer perimeter. So you just make one lap and you don't miss anybody. FDIC, it's easy to miss somebody that's not on Firefighter Row. It was really cool. Okay, Freddie. It was really cool to just be able to make a lap and hit every vendor that was there and see all the firefighter-owned businesses that are there putting out product. What are you doing?
I agree. And even Billy said that, Billy from Jobtown Tools, that was one of my favorite parts. And I mean, if that's going to be my next question is like, what was your favorite part of it?
Yep.
It was meeting the people that I've met, the community that we've created through this podcast. And Billy from Jobtown Tools, who we had met before. You and I, Brian, had met him in Leland. He came down, which was super awesome. He, he's got his company, and then we met Russell. I met Russell for the first time, so I got to see him. My favorite, and I don't want to play favorites, but dude, Sam is a rad dude.
Dude, he's so fun.
Dude, he's fun. The guy is like so smart, and what he's doing is just helping people. And he's just, to me, my favorite word for anybody is genuine. Like the guy is just genuinely super great.
Just a really chill dude. And it's like everything that you see online about him and the way he acts online is him. Like he's just super calm and chill to be around. Very smart guy. Very business savvy. Like he's just a really awesome guy.
Yeah. He might.
By the way, if you missed his keynote, you can join the FireTech Squad on Facebook. It's a group. Just go Google it, FireTech Squad, and then watch his keynote.
I think SAFRE shared it also.
I think they did. And they just shared how you can go join it. And it was so cool to hear him speak it and talk about it. The other thing that I wanted to kind of reiterate was how cool was it to have someone like Russell Davis from West Broad that we had that just came in the middle of us recording the show and like just jump in and literally just be like, hey, what's up, y'all? Like just the community that this podcast has created to just boom, just
for the podcast. Obviously, they created their own community. Russell 100%, knows 100%. Everybody, and I don't want to get that mixed up. But and I don't think 100%. That's not what we're saying. And and they know that. But the community that we've built here with all the people outside of the vendors, like Russell and Billy and Sam. But we got to meet some people that listen to our podcast too, which is insane.
Yeah. So
it shows that it really is a tight knit group. the first responder, whatever you want to call this little
small business. Yeah.
Nobody's got
area. Nobody's competing.
Yeah.
Nobody's competing.
Everybody wants to see everybody win. Nobody's got the big head and like, oh, I'm better than you. No, you're not, man. Like everybody is just humble and they want to see each other. Everybody on Firefighter Road, FDIC, everybody in that circle at SAFRE, they want to see each other win. So they're constantly promoting each other. If they don't have a product that you need, hey man, go see so-and-so at this booth and he or she will be able to have what you need.
Right.
It's just, there's no egos involved.
No.
That's why I think Jeremy from National Fire Radio was all about coming on to our podcast because he's got a huge platform. But he even said in a text message when I was talking to him, I said, hey, we might not be big enough for you. And he's like, well, let's get you big enough for it. Like, he's all about making everybody better.
Yeah. Well, what I loved really about Firefighter Row, going back to FDIC, and I think that same mentality drips back down to SAFRE was, you know, let's talk about people who do like shields and radio straps, right, for a second, because that's, if you want to talk about anything that's saturated, that's probably the most saturated of fire service markets.
It's leather goods, yeah.
It's leather goods, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody that I know that sells leather goods at one of those venues says, I hope every one of us go home empty, right? Like that's the mentality. If I run out of leather, I hope the next guy runs out of leather and the next guy runs out of leather and that we all go home like full, right? Full as a tick, as the old saying goes, right? And that we truly are blessed because that's what it is. We can all, there's plenty of room here. I mean, with 6,000 people, imagine if everybody bought some type of leather. They'd all be sold out, right? And that's what...
I bought another radio strap.
You did. Yeah, I was going to say,
I just bought one at FDIC and I bought another one.
And a chin strap, too.
Yeah, and it came with a chin strap and a glove strap, but we won't talk about that. But anyway.
So
I think I got the Ruru, but whatever.
So let me ask you this. What did you think about the environment that they created with like the pipes and drums, walking and playing and things like that? What was that like for y'all?
There is nothing more chilling than hearing pipes and drums, dude. It is amazing. And even if you're not in the fire service, it is amazing to hear. It's so cool hearing the pipes, man. I love bagpipes. They're awesome. It's very chilling. It's very nostalgic. It's
traditional. It's traditional fire service.
It's very stop in your tracks and listen for a minute.
So we were helping Sam at his booth real quick the day that we recorded, and the pipes and drum group, and that I don't want to call it a band, but that ensemble.
That's a band.
But it is, but it's not. So that's what I was going to say is those are pipe and drum corps from all around the state that send one or two together for that conference, because obviously not everybody can leave, right? It's kind of like our podcast. Hey, jump in when you can. These are folks like, hey, who's free to go to SAFRE this week? Boom. So they send X amount of people and they get their groups together. And there's some that are retired that are there every year. But nonetheless, everybody knows and everybody plays. And I don't remember who it was. It was either Matt or Doug. It was one of y'all two. It was not Adam, because Adam was there last year. But somebody said, I've never heard that rendition of Amazing Grace. Remember how they like played this upbeat version of it? Who was it who said that?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, you're like, I've never heard that before. And so
it may have been you. I don't know. But Amazing Grace has a little soft spot for me because they played it at my mom's funeral. So
100%. And so I think what that group wants to do is it wants to bring the somberness, if that's even a word. I don't think it is, but I just made it. You know, they want to create that
somberity.
The somberity,
I don't
whatever.
think that's a word either.
Whatever it is, right? They want to create that feeling, right, of brotherhood, but yet the intensity and the pace of like, we're here together and we're going to leave and we're just going to go and kick butt and take names when we get home. And that's kind of what that tempo and that playing does. And they do that every year, multiple times on the show floor, and it's just unreal. And so, they will make a lap around the floor, and then they will assemble right in the middle, and then they will play several times during the day. And it is just, it kind of makes your hair stand up, and it's pretty cool.
And I'm envious of people who play bagpipes because I don't know how hard it is, but it looks like it's really difficult.
It's very hard.
Yeah, it looks like it's really difficult to play.
Yeah, it seems like it's a lot of movements that are counterproductive to each other.
Yeah,
Remember to
bag while you're doing this, while you're playing this, and
yeah.
Well, and it's not just playing it; it's the actual instrument itself is made out of wood, basically. All the reeds that make noise, and so if you're in altitude or you're in a place that has more moisture or humidity, it'll make all of them go out of tune. So you literally got to tune them almost every song. So it's an intense
nerd
instrument.
alert.
I played the bagpipes,
and then there was Matt.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at the big brain on Brad.
Didn't know.
I haven't played in a couple of years since I got sick.
Such a blower.
Yeah, I'm a big time blower.
Hey, pause.
A blower of the bag of wind.
So let's go to the class. So Friday, right, while the show floor was open, we had a small group that came and sat in. But I recently saw a TikTok, and I sent it to you, Matt, that talked about at FRI. I think I sent it to you. I don't remember. No. Okay, I didn't, but I saw it. It was on LinkedIn, and it was someone who had presented at FRI, and he talked about while the exhibit floor was open, I presented a class to a small group. And at first I was really bummed, but then I came to the realization that the most passionate people came to my class. Mm-hmm. And we had 9 people in our class, and that you would first go, wow, that was only 9 people, but there's 9 people who wanted to go back and make a difference. And I don't know how you felt. I know we talked about it, and we self-critiqued ourselves, and we went through this whole laundry list of things that we felt like we could have done better. And in full transparency for everybody, we took a 4-hour class, condensed it down into 2 hours, and that was hard enough as it was. And we ran through it twice. Yeah, we did like 2 mini dress rehearsals, and I asked about feedback from different folks, and the only thing they said was it's got to be hard to take a 2-hour class and cut it in half. But I think everybody else really genuinely appreciated the class content. Yeah, and I just want to give a special thank you to Chris Wyatt at the North Carolina State Firefighters Association. So she was the one that gave us the opportunity to come and speak. They had a presentation committee, and they allowed us to come and speak. And the general consensus of the class, it was called What About Tomorrow? And it really focuses on preparing a team and yourself. So Matt talked about the why, and maybe we can do 1 or 2 sentences about each part, Matt, real quick here. My part focused on the working genius part. So basically what that is it's a assessment that allows you to identify what type of geniuses you have, what your strengths are, and your weaknesses. And so that identifies those. Doug, if you think you're muted, you're not. I don't know if you... Okay. So I thought you thought you were.
No, I know I took it off. That's why I said I'm sorry.
Okay. So anyways, that's what it does. It kind of takes you through this model, and the why of presenting that part of the working genius was so that way you're not frustrated when your team is not successful. And I think so many people get frustrated whenever they get into a group or something and they have a project and the project doesn't get done, and the BC or the chief comes by and is like, hey, why hasn't this got done? It's because not only are firefighters ADHD, but they also have geniuses that if they don't work it correctly, they'll never get done or they'll never get started. And so those different geniuses, it's important for you to know what genius you are, so that way you can give assign task as the captain or the officer, the battalion chief, the fire chief, whatever it may be, to the right people on those projects, so that way the whole department is successful. So, Matt, you want to go over your part of it?
My part of the presentation just had to do with the why or the purpose, Simon Sinek's model, really, and then just kind of expand on his thoughts and kind of relate it back to the fire service. Like, why do I get up in the morning and drive to work? Why do guys want to work for me? Why do they not want to work for me? The purpose of my role in the fire department, or the role that I want to have, is to help all those people around me. Whether you are a rank above or a rank below, the people that I deal with every day. So how can I help you? How can I, leadership is self-sacrifice. And that's why not everybody, and I say that in our presentation, is not everybody has to be a leader. And one of the great things that I we talked about one time. When was it? I can't remember exactly, but it was a comment on Instagram. The guy said, "Hey, why do we always talk about leadership and not talk about followership? Why do we always talk about how to be a good leader? Got to be a good leader. And there's servant leadership and all these different types of leadership. But it's like, why don't we talk about how to be a good follower?" And so I'm like, that's a good point. And again, another reason why we have this podcast, bring up these types of conversations. It's all good stuff. You know what I mean? And I thought it was a good question. I'm like, man, what is a good follower? Someone that listens, someone that can execute, and then somebody that can anticipate what the leader is going to say. And then after that, they trust, like they got to trust you with what, they're given by their leader. So that's basically it. And then the last thing I'll say is one of my favorite quotes or discussions from Simon Sinek is about the people that want to follow you as a leader. You want them to wake up inspired, go to work feeling safe, and then go home feeling fulfilled. And that kind of is a summation or a summary of, basically my why as to why I wanted to do the presentation. So that's me.
I love
that's it. Yeah.
Did you guys, speaking of following, did you guys see that recent clip of Denzel Washington talking about he doesn't follow anybody but God? That's pretty.
Yes, I did see that.
That's pretty.
He's looking old, by the way.
Well, fuck, he's in his 70s, isn't he?
Probably.
I loved, and I don't think I'm going to go back to Sam's quote in his keynote, because I think it played in really well to our class.
Yeah.
And he quoted Henry Ford, and it was, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right."
You're right.
And I 100% believe that. And so finding your why, right, every day, and making sure that you find your purpose will help you think that you can, and it will help you find the ways that you can. And by identifying and getting in the work and genius will help you identify the elements and the people to help you deliver on why you can. And so I loved it. I think it was very reinvigorating for me. And so for that, I know you gave a shout out to your employer, Matt. I want to give a shout out to mine. Thank you to my people at work who allowed me to attend that week. I was able to attend some meetings, the keynotes, and be able to present. And that means time away. And then I was away the following week. So I literally left you guys. I know I said this once before, but I left Friday night at 5:00, came home, dumped the suitcase, and then left and was gone again the next week to Mississippi for the IFMA meeting, the International Fire Marshals. And I listened to stories about hurricane hunters and stuff. And I'm so blessed to be able to take and get that information and hear it. It's not easy, right? Because at a chief level, and this isn't a jab, right? But I'm not able to go out to the truck and pull reps based off of my job. I have to do things a little bit different and get my training differently. And so to be able to get that on a regional and national level, and to be able to put my arm around sorry, dog.
Brian's dogs are going crazy.
Yeah, my dogs went nuts back there for a second. Frank Visco, to be able to... Viscuso. I was trying to do it quick and I still had it wrong.
Viscuso.
But to be able to put my arm around him as a guest that we've had, and then also to be able to listen to him and hear some mentorship for him as a chief officer, it was pretty impressive. So.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say is one of the things I preach in life, and especially to my kids, my 12-year-old specifically, is there's no comfort in greatness. There's no comfort in greatness. And I always say, make yourself feel, you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And the way you do that is you put yourself into situations like we did, Brian, and I was not comfortable. And I even admitted that during the presentation. But I'm saying this is me living what I'm preaching. And it's, you learn it, you do it, you teach it. You know what I mean? And so that I put myself into that uncomfortable situation, and it just made me, if I'm going to speak, just for myself, but it made me stronger at the end of it. I was really nervous. I told you, I'm like, man, I'm nervous for this class. And
you didn't even eat lunch.
And I couldn't even eat lunch. And Brian, you're like, Brian, you go, you remember what you said to me? You're like, hey, you have zero expectation. How many people in this class know who you are? Zero, right? There is no expectation. But one thing I'll push back on you, and I think that you'll agree with me, is like I have my own expectations.
Sure,
of doing
100%.
And I have these thoughts and I have these opinions and all this stuff that I've learned that I want to convey. And what I'm nervous about is relaying that information to these people in a timely, organized manner that they're like, oh, I understand his point. I get it. Right. The last thing you want at the end is to go, well, that was really jumbled up and I didn't understand anything he said. I kind of understand where he was going with it. But then again, we talked about it at the end as well. Like we've done this, twice, right? Jammed a 4-hour class into 2 hours. And the more times you do it, the 10th time we do it will be better than the 9th. So it's all good. So that's,
it's just anniversary, by the way, today from Leland. Today was 1 year ago.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Man, it's already been a year.
Yep. 1 year ago today. It popped up in my Facebook memory this morning.
Holy smokes.
Popped up in my memory where we had taken a picture on the back of Ronnie's deck.
That we were in Leland for the presentation.
Yep.
Not for when you got hired.
No.
No, I was like, goodness gracious. It's only been a year. Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. Doug, I want to give you an opportunity. So you were sitting in on the class along with some other chiefs. And I know we've talked about the book, and Matt, you've got a copy of the book and you've read some. We were very blessed to have two personal chiefs of mine, friends of mine, Jamie Falk and Scott Alderman of Cape Lookout Leadership Solutions. So they were in the class, they wrote a book. And so what was your thoughts, takeaways on the class? This is the first time you've heard it. And then, Matt, if you kind of want to talk about the book in general, it's going to be coming out. We're hoping to have them on as guests too.
Yes.
So, Matt, your nerves really showed, and I think you just addressed that. I think it's just, as I told you after the fact, it just comes with repetition. The more you guys do it, the better it's going to flow. I thought the presentation itself was fine. I like the message of it. It just needs to flow a little better. And I told you guys this when we left. I was like, that's the only thing I saw was the flow of it. And public speaking is an art, and it's hard to do. It's hard to keep the attention of your audience. It's hard to not go up there and be monotone and just speak. Everybody hates the monotone guy. You know what I mean? It's hard to command a room, and that's a skill. And the message is great. And once that gets hammered out, and those kinks get worked out, it'll be fine. And the only way to do that is to keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. But, so you were talking about everything that we've kind of already talked about, so that was just kind of reiterating, Doug, about the nerves and just not doing it before. So that's totally, it's understandable.
Yeah.
But as far as the Chiefs go, the Chiefs, I'm trying to look through their book real quick just so I could remember.
What's the name of it? It has
it's called Leadership Mistakes Made and Lessons Learned. So, and that's exactly what it is. So I'm like 40 or 50 pages in. I read it on the flight, and it was a long week, so I was pretty tired. So, when I start reading an actual book, I start to fall asleep. So I got through about 50 pages of it. And we're going to have them on as guests for sure to talk to them about this book. It's a really good book, and I wouldn't just say that. I was actually really surprised by it, and the way that it's written is very easy to read. And so, what I mean by that is they have it kind of broken up by mistakes. And so, mistake number 1, and then they go into kind of what the mistake was. They'll try to use like a personal experience, using leaving names out of it, in order to not, bring anybody's that doesn't want to be talked about into their book. And then they kind of like lesson learned, and they say, this is how we should have handled it, and this is like real life stuff. And I don't have an example right out in front of me right now, but that's pretty much what I would love.
I was going to say, I don't want to give too much because I want them to share that. Yeah. That I think the book is going to be dropping end of September, October-ish, if my memory serves me correct.
Yeah.
But it's Jamie Falk and Scott Alderman. And like I said, they're two chiefs that I've known for a long time. And what I loved that they talked about was they said, look, we promoted very early, and we made mistakes because we did not know. Yeah. And specifically, Jamie was the one who kind of talked about it. He said, you go to Fire Officer 3, and they bring you in there, and they talk about HR, but they don't tell you. They say, hey, you can't deal with problem X, but then they never teach you how to have that conversation. And so our goal is to tell you how to have that conversation. They tell you that you have to address it, but they never teach you how to address it. Yeah. And so the goal of the book is to take you through that. So, I haven't had a chance to start reading it yet, but one of
the examples of what I'm talking about. So they break them up into mistakes, like I said. So here's one. It says tolerating poor performance based on strong technical skills. And first sentence is, how often do you need your best firefighter paramedic on a scene? I'd say less than 10% of the time. So it just kind of goes, and so that whole mistake is what they're going to talk about, and they're going to use a personal experience as to like when they had to deal with some sort of personnel issue, dealing with poor performance based on strong technical skills or whatever. It's an easy read. That's what I loved about it, and I learned something. So I love it. There you go, win-win.
I love it. That's good stuff. Well, I don't know if anybody's got anything else related to SAFRE, but what I do want to just say is thank you to everybody. You guys mentioned it last week that this was kind of my World Series. This is kind of where I know folks, and I think these guys would identify. I think somebody said, let me know about an hour before, and it did. It took me about an hour to get from one place to the next. So I'm very blessed. I've been in this service 27 years in the state, and I've served in a lot of different capacities, and so it takes me a while by my own nature, just because I talk a lot and strike up conversations, but knowing a lot of people to get from point A to point B. But thank you guys. I want to say thank you to you guys for coming and doing it. When I texted you, Matt, I really thought it was going to be a hard no. Honestly, like when I pitched it, but you said yes. And then to have the ability to have you guys there with me really meant a lot. And I genuinely mean that. It was cool to have you guys all there. And kind of just not only just hang out, but I took away so much professionally that it was very, very beneficial to me.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so thank you. you guys
all that aside, all the great South Atlantic Fire Rescue Expo stuff aside, and how great the venue and the exhibitors and all that stuff. Like, and then you just add the fact that all four of us were there and sharing a room and breaking bread like that, and then meet. And so one thing we haven't talked about is the people that we've met. So we were reached out to by Scotty, and he ended up, I think, running into Unki because he ended up coming later on Saturday.
Scotty
Batson. So we had already left, but I think Unki, didn't Adam see him?
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember. I don't know if he did.
I don't know.
Sent him a video.
No, we FaceTimed him, remember?
Yes, we did. Yeah. So we kind of missed Scotty. He was going to come just because we were there, and he was going to come Saturday, but didn't know that we were all leaving on Saturday, or if not Friday night. And so we kind of regretfully didn't meet him, but we also reached out to by this guy, Ron, who listens to our podcast. And not only does he listen, but everybody already knows this by now if you listen to our podcast, because we say, sorry, Rhett. But his 6-year-old son. So his 6-year-old son came. We had I think 4 or 5 challenge coins for him, a couple of patches. We filled up his pockets with a whole bunch of goodies, and he was so stoked. Ronald hit us up on TikTok after that with a direct message saying, "Hey, you guys made his day," and we're like, this is great. This is why we do this kind of stuff to gain the community, to continue the conversation, and that's how we do it. You know what I mean? So that was awesome. Who am I missing that
Lyle. We got some fan mail from Lyle. Do you remember Lyle, who gave us the coins and the gifts?
Oh, yes.
And we sent him a video.
Yes.
Lyle was one Goldner that we met in FDIC. He was one of the OG listeners, and we were able to get together and open that those things together. And that
Christmas in August.
Dude, it was awesome.
And so it was really cool to be able to experience that together. And then,
their Fool's Coin is pretty dope.
Yeah. So I was going to say, we had a chance to kind of just get together and chat and hang out with folks. And then we had other listeners, folks that came up to us to talk to us about the episode with Daryl Rayner and the West Pharmaceuticals. I had more people. And I told Matt and Doug and Adam this, who came up and became new listeners because of that one episode. And if you're listening, please subscribe, because I don't think you have subscribed yet. But lots of folks who started listening because of that. And so thank you a million times for that.
All right. That's awesome. But hey, we have snail mail.
I was going to say, do we have snail mail?
Of course we have snail mail.
It's snail mail time.
Let's get into some snail
Play
mail.
the trailer. It could be the best. I don't know. Sometimes.
Just let it play.
I'm getting at a grade C today.
All right.
I've got to work on it. It's not good, but I'm getting there. I
need
did
to
get
hang
a
out with-
comment that said I need more Trump big city. We're going to do it. We're bringing it in. Sleepy Joe, not so much.
All right, first comment. What you
Is
got?
he done?
Matt?
Okay.
Go.
Okay. So first of all,
Needs to be done.
the first snail mail that I'm going to say is the most amazing thing on Spotify. We told people to give Becky a hard time on Spotify.
Stupid Becky.
Ricky said, freaking Becky. Colt said, dang it, Becky. Social FD, what the? Becky? I got to go. Get to work, Becky, but you guys can continue it. There's one on YouTube if you want to look it up.
I was gonna say, way to pass it off. Snail mail. Let's see if I can pull up some different comments here real quick. Do some Trump real quick before we talk.
I'm watching the golf tournament. It's a lovely course. It's not as good as Trump National. I'll tell you, if you've ever been to Doral, it's beautiful. What a great day for golf. Did you find the comment? I need to work
not yet.
I've got to work on the Trump. I'm a little too deep. Maybe. I don't know. We could go there, but it could be the best.
All right, let's see here. We're at 120. Hold on. Let's see here. I got one.
He's got one. We've got one.
I got one.
I says it every day. We've got one.
Station 3 leather.
Station 3.
Side the fire engine. He's
It's James Meatling.
Yeah. He says episode was great right up to the end when Matt said food is good a week after expiration. So besides being amazed,
milk being good specifically.
Yeah, he said food, but milk. So besides Doug amazed, so besides being amazed, Doug and Unki didn't call you out on it and disgusted. I'm now wondering how many of the cooking videos has expired food. So yeah, Matt, how many of them have?
He was talking about milk. It's just a suggestion. It's an expiration date. It's not necessarily valid. It could be wrong. It's
I
fake
heard
news.
Matt likes his lemon chunky milk.
Okay.
It's like cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese. If you put it on a little fruit, you get a cocktail. It's great.
I'm gonna do two more real quick. Simon Gray on episode 119 says,
Thank you, Simon.
Simon Gray, 6233. At my station, we make an amazing chicken stew.
We talked about this last week, and I already said it better not be no bullshit Brunswick stew. We talked about this last week. I told him to send us a recipe because I want to make sure there ain't no bullshit Brunswick stew.
I heard Doug loved Brunswick stew.
I do. I'm from the mother. I'm not gonna say it, Rhett. I'm from the original home of Brunswick stew in Brunswick County, Virginia, and I will fight you if you tell me it was started in Brunswick, Georgia, because it was not.
Okay.
He has very strong opinions about Brunswick stew.
It ain't an opinion; it's a fact.
So that night at the pit.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Bring this shit
because I had Brunswick stew, and I said I'm gonna try it. I want to see what it's like. And it was more like vegetable beef soup. It was not. It was really not.
It was a disgrace to call it Brunswick stew.
It really wasn't. I mean, it was okay, but it was more like a soup, not a stew. What would you, okay? So Freddie, pause.
Yeah.
Real quick. What is your thoughts? What is the difference between a soup and a stew?
The thickness.
Yes. There you go. I was going to say 100%. That was the thickness. This had more of a broth than it did like a gravy. And to me, a stew has a gravy and a soup has a broth.
If the paddle don't stand up in it, it ain't right.
That's a great way to look at it.
That's the way you make Brunswick stew. When the paddle stands up in the middle and you can let it go and it don't move,
But Doug, you and I had a conversation about it. We sat side by side that night, and I said my Brunswick stew has pork and chicken in it, and you went, "Huh?
Chicken, bro.
Only chicken?
Just chicken.
No pork?
No pork.
See, back
hold
home.
on. I take that back. It does have pork side meat for seasoning. It's not like pork meat.
We have pork and chicken.
Yeah, that pork. Just
no, we have pork and chicken. No. We have pork and chicken.
That ain't Brunswick stew.
Bologna. Okay.
Oh my god, you sound like the commenters on TikTok. Wow,
So-
that's shepherd's pie. That's not cottage pie.
What the fuck is cottage pie? Sorry, Rhett.
That's a West Coast thing.
No.
Sorry, Rhett.
Whenever I make shepherd's
That's like-
pie, it doesn't have lamb. That's cottage pie.
Right.
That's like
See, thank you.
Carl's Jr. versus Hardee's.
So real quick, one last one. So 116, this was Firehouse Pride, Station Projects, and the Return of the Trades. Did you cover this one already, Matt? The comment from James Smetling. This was 3 weeks ago.
Probably not.
So he says, so much depends too on where members live. We have guys who living hours plus away. So this was specific to getting peoples to respond at night. I mean, think about that. We have guys living hours away.
That's not feasible. You shouldn't be a member.
Yeah. Well, but it goes back to how do you guys get people to work? I know there's certain people.
I take that back. I shouldn't say you shouldn't be a member. If you go and pull duty, that's different.
Yeah,
right.
You're not going to respond from that far away.
Right. Well, I was going to say we had folks who were FDNY that lived several hours away. They would get a flight and they would pull a certain, shift trades. And if you remember, Tom was talking about that to us at FDIC.
Right.
But it kind of goes back, and I chose this comment that I was reading because I want to make sure I get it recorded again here, now, in this moment, that particular episode, one of the things that, because it was one of the clips that was played on social media is, and I want our listeners to make sure we hear this, is everything regarding recruitment and retention needs to be answered, in Brian Kelly's opinion, internally. You need to have that question answered. What can we do to solve the response problem middle of the night? That needs to be answered on a station by station basis, right? It's not about should you go, it's how do you solve the problem of how do we get people to respond.
I agree. We should have that on another podcast.
100%. But that's why I chose that one, because I just wanted to make sure we kind of clear that one up from my perspective. But I think
I have one last one that's really good from the last episode.
Bring it. That was my fill-in.
So I loved it. Episode 120. So this was literally like the last week. And Station 3 Leather said, episode was great. Right up until
we just talked about it.
Dang it. You used that one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I wish I was here for that one.
Use expired foods.
You're using expired
so I
food and milk.
Expired foods. Yeah.
Well, you definitely, if you're not following What's a Ralphie on TikTok, you need to go to it because obviously he's playing tricks on his wife. You want to talk about that little video real quick?
Yeah, you like that? So I went to the grocery store to get dinner stuff, and I saw in her text message that she said that she wanted beef stock. And then in parentheses, she put not broth. And I was like, okay, like what am I, 3 years old? And I'm like, but at the end of the day, I was like, that's probably a good thing that she did that or else I would have got the wrong one. So I'm like, I'm going to do it on purpose. So I bought chicken broth instead of beef stock. And so I just put it on the counter for her to find it. And then I set up my phones and I hit record and it was recording for like 6 minutes before she even realized. And she grabbed it and she's like, are you kidding me?
What is this?
It wasn't just broth. It wasn't beef broth. It was chicken broth.
Yeah. So she's like, not only did I ask for beef, I asked for stock and this is broth. And not to mention, this is only 14 and a half ounces. I need 4 cups. And I was like, this is so awesome.
Well, don't send a man to do a woman's job. Get that as a smart clip if we're going to light the internet on fire.
Let's do it.
Kidding.
Let's
do not
do it.
That.
Yep. It's been said.
Done.
It's going to be pulled out of context, the whole thing.
100%.
Anyway,
just
that's
like
our mailbag.
That's it. Great episode. I thought it was good. Good recap.
Yeah, we missed you, Fred. We missed you. You and Nick are the only ones I haven't given a big bear hug to. So we're gonna have to make it happen.
Yeah,
you can book a flight.
I'm aware of my suckiness.
Well, that's all right. But hey, only up from here. No, I'm just kidding.
You can book
just plan on FDIC.
Live draft party at Nick's Saturday. Next Saturday. This Saturday, because it's Sunday now.
That's far for how many hours is that for?
19.
Not
Probably not far off.
You know what's wild is even if I would have been signed up originally, my grandma asked
that's right.
right before you guys left, so I probably would have had to bail on it anyway. But I do appreciate the heartfelt condolences that you guys gave out too. We had a really nice service for her, but
good.
Not to bring down the whole.
No, we were thinking about you, Fred.
Respect to Granny Fred.
Yeah,
we're
always thinking.
It was a rough, dude. It was a rough couple of weeks. I don't know if you guys have planned a funeral lately. That shit's expensive.
Yeah,
Holy
it's a racket,
Christ.
is what it is.
Oh yeah.
I could only imagine.
They offered us for, I believe it was $179,000.
Whoa!
That we could have shot her into deep space.
Are you serious?
Dude, there goes Granny.
Low orbit, Earth orbit, on the moon, or deep space were options.
I want to get
wow.
Yeah.
Talk about capitalizing on somebody's grief. What a bullshit racket.
I know, it's crazy.
They also had like the diamond option. They had the tree option.
Sir, can we just put her in the ground? Appreciate it. You know, with all due respect.
Yeah.
Right.
She was 100. She was 100.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a great life right there.
Was
100 years old.
Dude. She was a G.
She was. Yeah. She was a GG.
She was a GG.
The OG GG.
Yeah. I love it.
All right.
Roll that OG triple OG.
I'm going to let Freddie do it.
Yeah, Freddie.
We're going to let Freddie. You do it, buddy.
Roll it, GG.
Roll it, GG.
Before you leave, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give these firemen a huge thumbs up. Also, make sure you check out thecoolfireman.com for more. Thanks!